and we found out that in every class there's an average of 2 students who were left-handed. How much were they struggling? And we decided to do something about it. Now, Kaiwan will talk about that.
Alright, thank you, Liva. As we all know, at least 10% of the world's population consists of left-handed people. Now, whoever invented this standard student chair decided that that was negligible. 800 million people. Negligible? We think not. Okay. We at SMK Session 3, Banda Kimara, have decided that we want to be inclusive and environmentally friendly. We believe that everyone deserves to receive an education in a conducive environment. So this brings us to our first function. We have added a table to the left-hand side of the chair as opposed to how this one works. Now, I would like to point out that this table is recycled. Everything here is recycled. So this has no cost whatsoever. Okay, so if you want to enter or exit the chair, you may flip the tables open as such, and regardless of whether or not you're left or right-handed, you may utilize the extra space. For example, you may place your reference book on the left and your notepad on the right if you're right-handed, your right hand dominant. And that will be it for our first function. As for our second function, you may be wondering, what is this strange piece behind our chair? You don't see this on many chairs, do you? Alright, this is actually a podium to assist students in their presentations. Now, in this age of 21st century learning, presentations are an extremely common occurrence in the classroom. Now, these students have to manage their presentations on their own. They have to hold their scripts or their props that they would like to use to present, and that is quite a burden, especially when the presentations have a time limit. So what we have decided to do is we have decided to add a podium to make it more convenient for them to present their ideas. They may leave their script here, their props here, so that they may use their full body to express their emotions and their feelings or their thoughts. Now, you may be thinking again, what is this white sheet on the podium? Will it get in the way of anything? And as for that, I'll let Liva here take the lead.
Alright, thanks, Kaiwan. This white sheet over here is actually a detachable magnetic whiteboard. It's basically a brainstorming platform where students just pour their ideas over here instead of having to do it on a piece of paper and later on having to take trouble of sticking it on the whiteboard. It's a very simple thing. This whiteboard, you just write down your points. For example, I'm writing on paper. You just jot down a few points over here. After that, you just lift it up and you stick it on the whiteboard. It makes the presentation process highly efficient. Right. Now, Yusuf will be speaking about giving an introduction on IoT.
So, IoT. This chair is basically an IoT. So, why? Because we already implemented a system on it. So now you guys must be wondering what is IoT and how does it work? How is it gonna helpful in our life, and what it's capable of? So IoT is a short form of Internet of Things. So it is communication of two devices that send signals to each other with network over the internet. So IoT is very powerful technology in this century. It is one of the powerful technology in this century, and it can re-evaluate our daily life. Okay, let's say you guys just imagine you are a student in a classroom and you don't understand the lesson. So you wanna raise your hand and tell the teachers that you don't understand the lesson, but you feel ashamed of yourself because you don't understand why everyone else is understand. Meanwhile, in a point of view, teacher wants teacher wants to help their students who don't understand. So the teachers need to know the students that doesn't understand, and so that they can help, and they know how to help you to understand the lesson. So we create this chair to solve the problems. We create this to solve the problems, so it can help teachers and students in the classroom. So we create this to solve the problems and help teachers and students in the classroom. So I know you guys are wondering how it's gonna work, how it functions. So that's where I leave it to my friend Liva to demonstrate the functions and.
Thank you, Yusuf. Alright, we have a seat for a while. The scenario over here is that I'm a teacher and we have a group of 32 students. And I'm teaching maybe science. So I'm going to give you a short demo how we use it. Okay, if a student understands the lesson, you just press the red button. The red light is ignited and the input is received in the Blink app. While on the other hand, if you don't understand, very simple. Just press the blue button, blue light is emitted, and the input is received in the Blink app. Therefore, it's a very simple and efficient process to collect data. Another thing is that this system is highly efficient. Besides classroom evaluation, it may be used for flunk quizzes. For example, okay, you have a question and you want to know the students have answered A or B. Very simple. If you answer A, press the red button. And if you answer B, press the blue button. From that, all the input, whether you answered A or B, will be collected in this app. That's all from me. Now, Zain will explain about the technicality of IoT.
Thank you, Liva. Now, I will be explaining the technicality of the IoT. So first, as Liva said, these two buttons are for the students to press. These are connected to the LED and also they are connected to the ESP microcontroller, as you can see here. This ESP microcontroller is powered by power bank and also it is constantly connected to the Wi-Fi. So what can they do? Once the student press the button, the data of inputs will be detected by ESP32 and also sent to the teacher's device, and the Blink app will display the output of the buttons. So next, let's look at this ID here. This ID here is a represent of identification of the chair. So why do we need this? We need this for making the teacher easier to identify which student has given the feedback. And also, this Blink app, the teacher can install it on their devices from an app store or Google Play. Okay. Now I want to pass it to my friend Xianwei here to explain about environmental technology.
Thank you, Zain. It's an undeniable fact that people produce a lot of waste. They replace the broken chair by just buying a new set of chair, and they didn't do anything to the broken chair. They didn't settle it to do it like repurpose it, better one or new one, recycle it. They didn't do it. So it's a very wasteful resources action. And also a very wasteful money. So we using the waste and repurpose it into the universal seater, aka the US.
this chair is also very accessible and very easy to replace, as the parts of it is made out of waste. Actually, the whole chair of it is made out of waste. You can find the parts of it like anywhere, everywhere, very easy to replace. You can do it ourselves. Once, like for example, the podium is broken, you can just find it from a broken table and replace it. It's a very easy action. And this kind of action is also reducing waste. We reduce waste by just creating this product, this innovation, and we're also reducing waste by fixing it. It's like a double reducing waste for just one innovation. Isn't it amazing? So I'll give my talk to Ling Taiwan about conclusion.
Right, my thanks, Zenwei. Right, before I will conclude our presentation here, I would like to talk about the marketability of our innovation. Now, our main targets would be primary, secondary, and tertiary educational institutions. And why do we pick these groups? It's because that material waste can be commonly found within these educational institutions, specifically school furniture waste, which is the main material used to make our innovation here. Now, what do these educational institutions do with this waste? They throw it away. I know, it's such a waste, because why would you throw it away when you can use it to create something as marvelous as this? So, this is a shout out to all the educational institutions out there to rethink about how they deal with their waste. Whenever you have something to throw away, I want you to keep it in mind and think about what you could do with it so that you might come up with a new product yourself. I want to change your perspective so that when the next time you see a pile of junk, you think of its potential rather than how disgusting it is. Right. Therefore, from waste to grace.